Alright, so here's another test for my Mevo cameras so I can record myself. We're going to be doing one of my favorite salads. I figured, while I was testing out my camera that I might as well go ahead and cook something while I'm doing it. So that being said, we're going to be making one of my favorite salads, which is a kale salad that I always enjoy making in the wintertime and in the fall time. So it has ingredients. We have kale, carrot, onion, chickpea, and quinoa, extra virgin olive oil, herbs, salt and pepper, and balsamic vinegar. And then one more ingredient which I'll grab is going to be dried cranberries. Almost forgot those. Let's get that open. It'll be the dried cranberries, which just really kicks it off, kicks the dish off with the sweetness. We have that open, and we'll be able to do that. So let me get my gloves on. Probably, I'm going to be giving you some tips along the way as well. Especially when working with kale. As you can see, I already have the kale, pre-chopped, or chiffanod. Let's call it that. So chiffanod, so it's nice and thin, because kale is rather, rough, or tough tasting. So you want to cut it kind of thin. And then there's another process I like to do involving the olive oil, and that is massaging the oil in. Now, probably one of the greatest things I like about making salads is that there's really no measurements when it comes to making a salad. You pretty much just make a salad, right? Right. So I'm going to pour some olive oil. I have to give you a measurement. I'm going to say this is probably a quarter cup of olive oil that I'm pouring in. And I'm going to use this to massage the greens in, just in case I need some more. We'll leave it open. I'm going to use this to massage the oil into the greens to get it softened. I'm going to add a little salt, so it's going to start getting just a little salt added to this. As I do this, start breaking it down, right? All right, so there we go here. Black pepper we'll do at a later time. So let's go ahead and start massaging this in. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm just massaging the oil into the greens. What's going to happen, you notice how tall the greens were. As I massage the oil in, what's going to happen is they're going to begin to soften, and it's going to seem like there's less greens in here. So you're basically trying to massage out that roughness of the greens. And this may take a little bit, but make sure you get the oil just nicely massaged through. And you'll see how that begins. You can see it now, how it's beginning to take shape, how it gets softer. So this is, it also makes it easier to chew, with digesting. You want that rough edge, but you don't want it to be that rough when you're eating, right? All right. So we get that massage down really good. Don't be afraid. You're not really bruising the greens. You're pretty much just massaging it in. All right. Yeah, we get that going through. So this may take, depending on how many greens you have, it may take anywhere from a couple of minutes to like 5 minutes. It depends on how large your greens are. But again, just squeeze and rub that through. So it may not look like it, but inside my hands, in each hand, I'm rubbing the greens through. All right, that's the massage. Rub the greens through. And you can see it again. Take a look at it. It's starting to shrink in its size as I get more and more of this oil massaged in and breaking it down. And you can also add more oil to it if you like, because the oil, believe it or not, it still plays a part in the finishing of the salad. So what we're doing is we're kind of mixing our salad dressing into the greens. So it's all a part of the process. So it's not a situation where you make your vinaigrette separate and then you add it to, we're going to add the oil, and then we're going to add our vinaigrette when we get to that point. And then it all begins to come together, right? So look at that. Take a look at that now. Remember how it was this high above the bowl? Now it's like really massaged in. And that was about maybe 5 minutes, 8 minutes or so. I was kind of going kind of slow, but now I'm really, squeezing those greens in together and breaking it down for you. All right. Now, that's going to take care of that. Now, once you see how easy it is to prepare this salad, it's going to be a salad that, you may want to do yourself, quite a bit. So that's going to be that. All right, now I'm going to just add just a little bit more oil and massage that through just a little bit more, because now I'm thinking about my end product, you know, as far as my dressing goes. Now here's where I begin to add my ingredients. I have some salt. Let me taste one of those a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more salt to it. Okay. Now this is a nice coarse salt here. I'm gonna add some black pepper. So I grind my pepper fresh and put it inside of a container. So then I can just shake it out of the shaker. There's my pepper. All right. Let's get rid of one of these gloves here. Now I'm gonna do my herbs. I'm gonna do parsley flakes. Okay, you get that open up. Now this is just, you know, to give that more earthy green kind of flavor to it. So I'm gonna put in some parsley flakes. You can use fresh also. And then I'm going to use some oregano. Now oregano has a very potent taste to it. So you don't want to use that much oregano, but that's really gonna kick the salad off. So with the parsley, let's say I did about tablespoon and a half to 2 tablespoons. With the oregano, I did about a teaspoon, right? So now we're going to add in our onion. This is a sliced onion. You know, I like onion in this salad, and there's a lot of greens, you know, so I'm gonna add, so this is probably half of a small onion. I'm gonna do a quarter of that. I'm going to add all of my chickpeas. So this is about half of a can, a 15-ounce can of chickpeas. That all goes in. Now, my quinoa here is about, say 2 cups of quinoa. I'm going to add it all. So this was a quinoa I made yesterday, you know, and nothing goes to waste, because sometimes you don't want to just eat the quinoa. So I pretty much add it to a salad, whether it's this salad or any other salad that I'm eating. I'll add the quinoa to it. All right, now I want to show you another trick. This is a trick. I can't remember where I picked it up from, but it's when grating your carrots. So you're gonna put some carrot shavings in here. So you take your fork, stick it in the large end, and thereby it's gonna hold. So when you're shaving, you know, it's being held together. And you're just shaving the carrot. Now I'm gonna do this. This is half of a whole carrot. I'm gonna do the entire carrot inside of this salad here. You know, so you'll see how that goes. And this is just gonna be, it's just a great overall fall salad. You can have it in the winter, you can have it in the summer, you know, if you're growing your own kale greens. Now see, look how easy that works. You know, when you begin to get down to the smaller part of the carrot and you're trying to hold it in your hand, sometimes you can't hold it and you don't want to risk slicing your finger. I've done it before, slicing your finger with your shaver. So I have this little trick here. It's a great little tip. I can't remember where I picked it up from, but I've been using it ever since, you know, for years now. So I'm giving that tip, passing that tip on to you. And that's what food is about, and that's what cooking is about. You know, it's passing on tips, passing on ideas, passing on recipes. Look at that, look at that. Remember how it started? I'm down to the end now. I won't throw this part away. That part I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna eat it while I'm shooting the video, because then I won't be able to talk, but I'm going to eat that part of the carrot a little bit later. So now that's done. Okay, now I'm going to put in some cranberries. These are dried cranberries. This is probably going to be like a 1/4 cup or maybe a 1/3 cup of cranberries. I mean, that gives you that sweetness and that flavor. And now I have some black mission fig balsamic vinegar. That's gonna go in there as well. Let's get that open. Now, this is what really kicks up the flavor, the balsamic vinegar. You don't have to use blackberry fig. You can use a really nice aged balsamic vinegar, you know, where that sweetness is intensified. So I'm gonna use all of this. I have a little bit of this left. And then I'm actually gonna mix this with another vinegar I have. And that one is going to be called, I'm going to add just a regular balsamic to a little bit of that to this. All right. So that one, this one is not as intensely sweet. I'm going to add just a little bit of that, you know, perk up that acidity. You know, then I'm going to give it a toss. Now, I like to toss my salads with my hand. And of course you could use tongs, but using your hand is just as good. because I want to feel and make sure I get a nice mixture of all the ingredients throughout. So that's why I use my hand. And you can see how that's coming together, how you get a nice mixture of the quinoa, the chickpea, the carrot, the onion, you know, just all in here, part of salad. And you see how quick and easy that was. Takes no time. Probably the hardest part, the longest part, is massaging in the oil into the greens. Now this salad is done. Let's use my fork here and let's have a taste. Make sure I get a little bit of everything right here on my fork. And there we go. And here's my taste. Perfect. And there you have it. My fall quinoa, chickpea, and kale salad. And I'll see you next time when I'm testing out my camera here at Cooking in the Raw. Ciao.